Thank you all for coming. I know you're here because you love Rachel and you love us, and we are humbled and touched. If I don't get anything else out, I want you to know that. Those of you who assembled to honor Rachel know how precious she is. And those of you who know us know how much we love her. And we share our grief. At a time like this, even people of faith ask, where is God in this? I have the privilege of teaching a Sunday school class that my family attends. And Rachel has sat where you are and listened as I taught about the letter of 1 John, which is my favorite book in the Bible. And that is the book that tells us that God is love. It's not natural. Love is supernatural. Love is divine. The message of 1 John is the proof of the presence of God is love. The night before Jesus went to prepare Rachel's home in heaven, he told those that he would leave behind to love one another. Earlier, he had told them how to do it. We taught our children the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That means recognizing yourself in the eyes of your neighbor. The essence of love is kindness, empathy, unselfishness. And Bob has reminded us that love is God's work. We are loved. Rachel is loved. The circle of love for Rachel has literally reached around the world and around the clock. People have been praying for us when we didn't know what we needed. But God does. And it's amazing to see his hand even in this. One example of the golden rule I wanted to share with you, and I don't even know if she's in the audience today. Is Trudy here? Trudy describes herself as a lover of Jesus. She's a mother who imagined herself or her child in Rachel's place. She came upon the scene when no one else was there. She gathered the saints and she prayed Rachel into heaven. I know that this service is about Rachel, but would you please join me in thanking Trudy? Trudy, stand up. Her reward is in heaven, but I think it's nice to show a little appreciation for what she's done. So where is God in all of this? Our hearts are aching and our vision is blurred, but we are not blind. In every face we see, everywhere we look, we see God because we see love. I have a few questions to ask. Eric? Is 17 years long enough to love?
No.
Jill? Is 42 years long enough to love?
No. No.
Trowbridge? Is 61 years long enough to love?
No.
Grandma? Is 91 years long enough to love? No. There's only time for love, and there's not enough of it. That's why we're convinced there is a heaven. God puts eternity in our hearts. The Bible teaches us that love never fails. The morning before we received the news of Rachel's passing, Jill and I were reading the Bible as we do every morning. And the Lord spoke to us, as he always does, regardless of whether we're listening or not. There's a refrain that recurs throughout the Old Testament. And even before I said it, I asked Jill what it was. We were reading in Ezra. God is good. His faithful love endures forever. Rachel is God's child. We were privileged to be the ones to be able to usher her into this world, to love her as she grew, to teach her. But we know that she was not ours alone. Like every gift that God gives, Rachel was a gift to share. Rachel was baptized right there, and I was the one that had the privilege of doing that. You don't know how precious that is to me now. But when I did that, and some of you were here, I said, I'm afraid when someday I walk my little girl down the aisle to hand her in the arms of a man I know will be imperfect. But I have confidence in the man whose hand I'm giving her to today. Rachel didn't slip through God's fingers. Rachel knew that she is loved. And I'm using my verb tenses intentionally. I hope you're catching that. She told me. But she could never imagine in this life how much. But now she knows. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians, the great love chapter, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know fully, just as I also have been fully known. Thank you for loving Rachel. Thank you for loving us. We owe a debt of gratitude to you and to God that we will never be able to repay, but I hope we get the chance to try. Remember the lessons that God has taught you through Rachel. Remember the joy she brought to your life. Forgive her of her offenses. I know she had some, as we all do. And love one another.